Well, hi everyone. This is kind of part two of the test that we're working on. We've got a bunch of equations to solve. This is the quadratic techniques. It's where we let u equal x squared. And then if we do that, we're going to have u squared minus 7u plus 12 equals 0 that we're going to solve. That will factor, I think, yes. You get u minus 3 times u minus 4 equals 0. And u minus 3 equals 0, or u minus 4 equals 0. So u equals 3, or u equals 4. Now we're not done. That's the simpler equation to solve. Now we're going to plug the x squared back in. X squared equals 3, or x squared equals 4. We take the square root of both sides. And x is plus or minus square root of 3. And this one, square root of x squared equals plus or minus the square root of 4. So x is plus or minus 2. So our solution set is negative square root of 3, square root of 3, negative 2, and 2. Now, I was looking at 17, and as I was looking at it, I thought of two ways you could take this one on. One is with the u. If I let u equal 1 over x, this would be u squared. That means 1 over x squared. This would be 8u. 8 times 1 over x is 8 over x, plus 15 equals 0. And u plus 5 times u plus 3 is equal to 0. U plus 5 equals 0, or u plus 3 equals 0. And that would give me u is negative 5, or u is negative 3. And then put 1 over x equals negative 5. So negative 5x equals 1. So x would be negative 1/5. There's one answer. And 1 over x equals negative 3. So negative 3x would equal 1. Divide by negative 3, and x will be negative 1/3. So there's the two answers there. The other idea I had, and if you have one like this, you can do this for this one. If I were to multiply everything by x squared here, 1 over x squared times x squared plus 8 over x times x squared plus 15 times x squared equals 0 times x squared, or 0. And then you would have, that's canceling, so you would have 1 plus 8x, this x cancels with one of these, plus 15x squared equals 0. 15x squared plus 8x plus 1 equals 0. And if you were going to use grouping, for example, you need two things that multiply to 15 and add to 8, and that would be 5 and 3. So 15x squared plus 5x plus 3x plus 1 equals 0. And I won't go through the rest of that, but you would get this factored, and you're going to get these same two answers. So all right, this one I am going to use u. On this one I'm going to let u equal the square root of x. And if I square the square root of x, I get x. So this is 2u squared plus 9u equals 5. 2u squared plus 9u minus 5 equals 0. You can set up and do grouping. I'm going to just try to do it without grouping on this one. And I know I need, so I'll go plus 5. That gives me positive 10u, and minus 1, that gives me negative 1u. 10 minus 1 is 9. So 2u minus 1 equals 0. I'll add 1 and then divide by 2. And I'll get u is 1/2. And u plus 5 equals 0. I'll subtract 5 from both sides and I get u equals negative 5. So, square root of x equals 1/2. U is the square root of square root of x, or square root of x equals negative 5. Alright, I'll square both sides here. I get x equals 25. I'll square both sides here, and I'll get x equals 1/4. It is necessary to check. So 2 times 1/4 plus 9 times the square root of 1/4, is that going to equal 5? This is 1/2. This is 9 times 1/2, which is 9/2, which is 10/2, which does equal 5. So x does equal 1/4. I don't think we're going to have any luck with this one. 2 times 25 is 50. Square root of 25 is 5. Plus 9 times 5 is 50. Plus 45 is not 5. 50 minus 45 is. This one's extraneous. So we have just the one solution here. All right. This one, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides first. Cube root of 2x minus 9 equals negative 4. I'm going to raise both sides to the third power. Alright, I got 2x minus 9 equals negative 64. I'm adding 9. I'm getting 2x equals negative 55. I'm dividing by 2, and I get x equals negative 27.5. Just thinking real quick. For negative 55, negative 9, negative 64, 4 and negative 4 makes 0. So that checks out. On this one, okay, I am going to subtract 2 from both sides. And I get negative, and then 40 minus, square root of 40 minus 9x equals x minus 2. And then I'm going to square both sides here. And a negative times negative is positive. So I got 40 minus 9x. And this is x squared minus 4x plus 4. We'll subtract 40 and add 9x. I've got x squared plus 5x minus 36 equals 0. This factors, that's x plus 9 times x minus 5 equals 0. Now x plus 9 equals 0, so x is negative 9. X minus 5 equals 0, so x is 5. Okay, I'm going to check these two. 40 minus, okay, 40, and then it's minus negative 81. So this is the negative square root of 121 plus 2. Does that equal negative 9? So this is negative 11 plus 2, and that does equal negative 9. So I'm good with negative 9. Now, 40, this is negative. Square root of 40 minus 45 plus 2 equals 5. Well, that doesn't look like it's going to work at all. So negative, square root of negative 5, nah, not going to work. Just checking real quick. Oh, probably because, okay, usually I'll see that this minus this would be this. Okay, I got the wrong number here. And you guys probably saw that. This is 4, so this is 4, x minus 4. So let me check 4. It's negative square root of 40 minus 36 plus 2. Does that equal 4? Negative 2. That's negative 2. Plus 2. You see how 2 and 2 make 4, but negative 2 plus 2 is not equal to 4. So this one's extraneous. So that's kind of a way, when you get something that's completely unrelated, there may be a mistake down here. So just a heads up. All right. I have a feeling that I'm going to need more room on 21. Just looking at the nature of this problem, so I'm going to do it here. I am going to add the square root of, I got room to write that. I'm going to add this to both sides. And that gives me 4 radical x minus 3 equals 3 plus square root of 6x minus 17. All right. I think I would just, at this point, square it, even though you got that 4 in front. 4 squared is 16. Square root of x minus 3 is squared is x minus 3. 3 squared is 9. 2 times 3 is 6 times square root of 6x minus 17. And square root of 6x minus 17 squared is 6x minus 17. Okay, FOIL it if you're not comfortable, but patterns will help things go a little quicker, I think. So I've got 16x minus 48 equals, now 9 minus 17, that's negative 8. And then I'll go with the plus 6x. I just added these two together for that. Plus 6 square root of 6x minus 17. And I'm going to add 8 to both sides. I'm also going to subtract 6x from both sides. I think getting the radical by itself on one side is a good move. So this 10x minus 40, this looks familiar, equals 6 times the square root of 6x minus 17. I am going to square both sides. Okay, that gives me 100x squared. 2 times 10x is 20x times negative 40. 20 times negative 40 That's negative 800x, and 40 times 40 is 1,600. And this is 36 times 6x minus 17. Square that, it just gets rid of the radical. So 100x squared minus 800x plus 1,600 equals 216x minus 612. So let's subtract 216x from both sides. Add 618 to both sides. 100x squared minus 1,016x plus 2,218 is equal to 0. I do, that's not right. 612. All right, 612, 612, 612, 2,212. I am going to divide both sides by 4 because all these numbers are divisible by 4. 25x squared minus 254x plus 553 equals 0. I watched somebody factor this. I'm going to go to the quadratic formula though. $254 squared minus 4 times 25 times 553, 9,216 square root of 9216 is 96. All right. So 254 plus or minus 96 over 50. 254 plus 96 over 50. Or 254 minus 96 over 50. That's 7. And that one is 3.16. All right. And checking. Check up here. 4 times the square root of, I'm going to check 3.16 minus 3, get out of the radical there, minus square root of 6 times 3.16 minus 17. equals 0.2. Alright, so that didn't work. 3.16. Let's try 7. 4 times the square root. Whoa. Alright, so I was in the process of checking 7. I might just check this by hand, check 7. 4 times square root of 4 minus the square root of 6 times, what was it, 7? Yeah, minus 17. Is that going to equal 3? This is 4 times 2. That's 8. This is 42 minus 17, square root of 25. So 8 minus 5 does equal 3. All right, check. All right, so 7 works. I don't think 3.16 is working from the calculation. All right, number 22. I'm going to set this up like so. It's a cube root. This is x minus 5 squared equals 16. I'm going to raise this to the third power and this to the third power and have x minus 5 squared equals 4,096. And then I'm going to take the square root of x minus 5 squared equals plus or minus the square root of 4,096. All right, and then that's x minus 5. Is 64. X minus 5 equals plus or minus 64. Add 5 to both sides, and I've got x equals 5 plus or minus 64. 5 plus 64, or 5 minus 64. So x equals 69, or x equals negative 59. And 69 minus 5 is 64. 64 to the power of 2 divided by 3 is 16. Yay. All right. Negative 59 minus 5 is negative 64. So negative 64 to the power of 2 divided by 3 is 16 as well. Both of these are solutions. All right, and this last one here. We've taken a look at a couple of examples here of these kind, and 3/2 is 1 x minus 2 to the first times x minus 2 to the half. So I'm going to go minus 2 times x minus 2 to the first power times x minus 2 to the half power. That equals 0. Okay. It's 3x times x minus 2 to the half power. And then this is, well, that changed the vibe here. All right, that's what happens when you get the free stuff instead of paying for the premium. All right, so negative 2x times negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and distribute this. Well, actually, no, I'm not going to, not yet. It'll work a little better, and I'll keep the sign straighter if I just put things together now. I'm going to combine this and this. because these are multiplied by this. So 3x minus 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2 to the half power equals 0. Now I'll do that. 3x minus 2x plus 4 times x minus 2 to the half equals 0. 3x minus 2x is x. So x plus 4 times x minus 2 to the half equals 0. X plus 4 equals 0. Or x minus 2 to the half power equals 0. X equals negative 4. This is the square root of x minus 2 equals 0. So I'll square both sides and I get x minus 2 equals 0, which means x equals 2. Alright. So x equals negative 4. So it's 3. I'm going to just check it in the calculator. Three times negative 4 paren negative 4 minus 2, the c's, to the, I'll just use 0.5, 1/2 power of 0.5 minus 2 times negative 4 minus 2 to the 1.5 power. Oh, okay. I'm taking the square root of negative 6 there, aren't I? Alright, so that is not real. This one's out. 2 minus 2 is 0. 0. This one's going to work. Negative 4 is not going to work. Okay, there we are.